Hey guys, in one of my recent videos, maybe my most actual recent video, I talked about fine tuning. If you bend over and you're not lined up right, and you're lazy like me, and you don't feel like standing up and going through the whole pre-shot routine all again, some things you can do. I've been thinking about that a lot more. I'm still doing it. I've been thinking about it a lot because I had some unanswered questions. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to shoot pool, okay? I'm not one of those people. If I was one of those people, I would probably be saying, step out of the box. Do your pre-shot routine every time. Be perfect. But I'm not going to tell you guys to do that, and I'm not like that. So, just the thing about most pool players. When we first are going to evaluate a shot, we're going to use our eyes. We're visually going to look at the shot. If you are one of those people that you play by sense of smell, or maybe you use echolocation like a bat, or maybe you have some type of extrasensory perception that someone like me can't even conceive of, this video is just really not for you. I'm talking about people that use their eyes and look at the shot. The thing is, no matter what you're doing, you get lined up on the shot. This is a pretty big motion. And something can go wrong during that motion. That's kind of the point I was getting at. You can be perfect and then come down and, oh man, I'm not perfect anymore. And that's where the whole fine tuning stuff came in. One of the things that I believe, at least for me, is that if I have a normal shot, my vision is going to be correct and stay correct, even though I'm doing this fairly big motion of bending over. Now, if I'm stuck on the rail, that's going to throw off my vision, definitely. If I'm elevated, if I'm shooting like a jump shot, if I'm, well, I don't have an object ball up there. If I'm stretched out, it makes it more likely that my vision could be off. But for the most part, my vision is not going to be off. A normal shot like this one, I can come down, and sure, my cue might have done something weird as I was bending over, but my vision of the shot is going to be still going to be good, and that's why for most cases I can just move my stick until it looks right without moving my eyes. In most cases, I can do that. One of the questions I had, in my other video was, well, wouldn't it be better to move both my stick and my head at the same time? And it wasn't, but I wasn't sure why. Now I do think I know why. I think for most shots, I can come down on it and my vision is correct. So why would I want to move my vision? Why would I want to move my vision by moving my head? My vision was already correct. It was my cue that was wrong. It looked wrong to me. So it was my cue that was wrong. So move my cue and make it right. If I'm in one of those situations I talked about where I'm elevated or awkward, shooting left-handed, maybe even like shooting with a ridge, anything that's weird where I no longer can fully trust my vision of the shot. I think I can trust it up here, but if I bend over, and now I don't anymore, because sometimes I get optical illusions caused by rails and stuff like that. If I no longer trust my vision fully, my vision might be wrong. Just doing this isn't going to be good enough. What I would do in that case is move my head and my stick at the same time and have more success doing that. You have to be close. That's definitely one of the assumptions that I'm making for anybody watching this. Is you have to be close. You have to be able to tell when you're off Well, you still have to be pretty close. I talked about, the vision stuff. Another thing, let's say I'm getting ready to shoot a shot, and then a pretty girl walks by, and then I'm like this all of a sudden, and then I try to get back. No, it's not. That's not good enough. You have to be pretty darn close. That's why I was calling it fine tuning, not just pivoting into the correct spot or whatever other term I might have come up with. You're close, and you have to. I guess you have to be good enough or experienced enough to be close, and experienced enough to be able to tell when you're not quite on what you want to be on. Up here, everything might be great. By the time you bend over, something might have changed. Your stick might not be on the right line because of this big motion. In certain situations, your head might have moved, so you're not seeing the shot right anymore. And again, you have to be experienced enough to be able to tell the difference. For me, I have found that if I'm just shooting a normal shot where I'm not awkward in any way, and I mean awkward in pool, not like socially awkward. If I'm not awkward in any way, I can just keep my head exactly the same and just move my stick. Just do the fine tuning on my stick. But if something gets weird and I'm in any way awkward in pool for that shot, odds are decent at least that my vision is no longer as good as it was when I was still standing up. It's no longer as perfect. We hope it's going to be perfect or as close as I'm capable of. That's what we hope. So that kind of, for me, solves that mystery of why, at least for me, moving my head and my stick at the same time was not nearly as good. It is as good, or it's actually better, if I am hampered in any way, any type of an awkward stance or anything like that. So for me, that solves that mystery. Another thing that I was thinking about as I continued to mess with this was that some of the styles that I shoot with, I'll have a pause at the end of my backswing. And sometimes I won't. I think the other night, the previous video, I didn't really have one. I was just kind of getting on the shot, doing my fine tuning that I was talking about, back and then forward. I think that's what I was doing. I'm not 100% sure. But some of the styles that I have will have, that's good, Dave, a pause at the end of my backswing. Where I'll get on the shot, back up, pause, and stroke forward like that. Try to miss that ball. I found a couple things. One is if my stance is awkward or whatever, I'm more likely to be pausing back here. And also, I can make use of that time. As long as I'm back here anyway, I can make use of that time. And maybe I can get on a shot, get it all lined up, do my fine tuning up here, come back, make sure everything is right. Everything is still right. I didn't do my backswing like this, for example, but like this, for example. Then I pull back straight, make sure everything still looks right. And I can also get a little bit of like a speed. It's not really practicing my speed. I guess just thinking about it a little bit. How hard do I want to hit this shot? So I can take a little bit of advantage of that time that I'm spending back here. That doesn't. I don't do that on all of my shooting styles. Sometimes I don't have the concentration to be back here for even a second. I have to just do this, because if I'm back here, I lose concentration. Sometimes that happens. Now, the nights when I'm concentrating really well, I feel like I can be more careful. I can slow down and really try to be as accurate as I can be. Then that's when I will have that pause at the end of my backswing. Just not every time. And if you guys can have that pause back there, maybe one of the things you can think about is taking advantage of it. However you want to do it, make sure you're locked in. Make sure that you cleared your mind of all distracting thoughts or whatever else you might want to do. I think these are pretty much all good things and all universal advice. And that's all I want to say about this. Just wanted to just add or do like an epilogue to my last video about the fine tuning. A couple of things that are relevant to it. Thanks, guys.